The 4 kings are taken and placed directly into the middle of the deck. Those 4 kings can then instantly be dealt from the very middle of the deck. I'm Daniel Madison, and this is the Center Deal Masterclass. I am Daniel Madison. Thanks for being here. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me. I just released my work, my masterclass on the center deal, my curve center deal. The masterclass is over an hour long, and it is the first time ever that I've shared my work on this, arguably the most difficult to achieve sleight-of-hand technique in the entire deceptive practices. Now, for people who don't know what the center deal is, what the middle deal is, it is the deceptive act of secretly dealing playing cards, desired playing cards, from the middle of the deck, whilst apparently fairly deal playing cards from the top of the deck. It looks like you're dealing playing cards normally and fairly from the top, when in fact you are taking desired cards from the middle, secretly, deceptively, without anybody knowing. It really is one of the most, if not the most difficult sleight-of-hand technique ever. But in my masterclass, I dedicate so much time to the dirty theory, which I'm now calling the soap theory, and there's nothing that I don't cover when it comes to the actual center deal, the understanding of it, the psychology of it, the mentality when practicing, in terms of developing this to a point that you could take it to a real card game. In the masterclass, I make learning this very easy if you know how to do it, and if you know how to do it correctly, and if you learn from somebody who knows how to do it correctly, then learning is a pleasure, I guess. Now, for those people who don't know what the soap theory is, the dirty theory is the idea of practicing imperfection to perfection. If you look like you know what you're doing at a card table, then all eyes are going to be on you. If you look like you don't really know what you're doing and you handle a deck a little bit like a normal person would, then nobody's going to be watching you. Soap theory, I talk about it in great detail in this project. I talk about it a great deal in this project in the dirty and the center deal. Now, the soap theory, the dirty bastard theory, applies itself to the center deal, or at least my curve center deal, more than it does any other sleight-of-hand technique that I know. That's why I included it in this project as a huge deal. I do talk about the theory a lot, but there's so much, it's so intricate and detailed that I wanted to save every single thing I know about it for a project, so that it's not just out there willy-nilly for the internet to scramble over. The only place you can truly understand what the theory is in this project. Link in video description. Now, my center deal, I called it the curve center deal. I teach everything I know about the center deal and my main curve center deal, from demonstrations to execution at an actual card table. But in the project, I've spent a little bit of time towards and dedicated to pseudo center deals. I try not to encourage them too much, as if you can do the real thing, then why would you fake it by doing a pseudo? Now, my center deal, the one thing that I love more than anything about my center deal is that it does not compromise the grip, the Madison grip for me, which would be your grip. The grip does not change from a normal deal. The center deal does not compromise the standard grip or the standard visuals, the way that you would normally deal a deck of playing cards. You don't have to change anything, so you're not drawing attention to yourself. Another little gem, another little thing that I love about the curve center deal is that you can deal consecutively as many cards as you want from that same position, but also you can mix it up. You don't have to take all those cards all at once, you can come back to them. So you could deal a round of cards and then hit a center deal, another round and then a center deal. I want to protect this one as much as I can, but at the same time I want to share it with you guys. That's why I made the project. That's why I'm talking about it right now. The most difficult sleight of hand technique I know available right now at my website. Now this is the subject. We're talking about difficult sleight of hand. Now you could argue that all sleight of hand is difficult. And yes, it is, and it all depends on skill level. Now, within the world of sleight of hand and the deceptive practices, one of the, if not the most difficult sleight of hand technique is the center deal. And I think that's the reason why you don't see many people doing it. A lot of people are either afraid of practicing and developing and working towards difficult sleight of hand techniques because it takes too long and it's boring to learn, and the outcome at the end isn't worth the amount of time that you have to put in. I think that's how some people think. I'm the opposite. I put so much time into my sleight of hand that sometimes people haven't even seen half of what I can do, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't be doing it and putting the time, efforts and practicing. Your sleight of hand, your art, your practices deserves all the time that you have to put into it. There is no excuse for avoiding difficult sleight of hand just because it's difficult. The magician might argue that there's always an easier method, and I would too, by any means necessary. Conquer Bill Kalush, what up? But in terms of magic versus sleight of hand designed for cheating at card games, the art of deception itself, it becomes separated completely from the art of magic. Sure, in a magic environment, in a magic situation, I would hit a pseudo deal and it would look beautiful. Whereas in a world of real deception, I would hit a real center deal, and that beauty is somewhat compromised, but it lends itself to a different kind of beauty, which is only appreciated by those people in that world who understand how difficult it is and understand the complications and the challenges and the potential for it to go wrong. When you learn things like this, very difficult sleight of hand from the magic world and from magicians, you learn it the wrong way. I've discovered, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. As far as I know, and as far as my research and my experience tells me, do not learn sleight of hand, especially for card table work, from magicians. Don't do it. Now, this is a really good example of why difficult sleight of hand is avoided by magicians. You rarely see anybody teaching the center deal, and the center deals that I've seen taught, I wouldn't take a single one of them to a card table because of this, that, and the other different reasons for different center deals. But the main reason that always keeps occurring is that the grip has to change, or something has to be compromised, or something has to be held this way. And a lot of center deals that you pick up are designed for routines and are designed for magic tricks. There's a few out there that I love, that have been taught to me personally by people who are from that world. So I can't talk about those people, but I can't share those things. I can share you my own, which is the result of all that experience and all that research and all that studying. It all comes down to the curve center deal. I'm going to leave you with that. The link is in the video description. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Anybody who wants to learn the best center deal that I know, follow that link right now. I'm Daniel Madison. Thanks for being here. See you next time. The 4 kings are taken and placed directly into the middle of the deck.